Siobhan Divigno, and I'm your facilitator for today. Today actually marks the end of the series of videos and presentations that form part of our discussion topic over the last 3 days. We've been discussing themes related to researchers of the future, the types of capabilities and skills they may need in the 21st century. However, the online discussion we hope will continue on the HIFA FR and HIFA platforms over the coming weeks, and we would like to encourage you to join these discussions as they evolve. So back to today's presentation, we have some great program speakers for you today, exploring the topic, how would a shift in research practice impact on the capabilities of researchers in the future? So we're looking at exploring themes that look not least at the challenges of providing access to research evidence, but also looks at ways in which we can strengthen the capabilities of young and early career researchers in order to enable them to think critically and engage critically with the research that's available in the information landscape today. We'll also be looking at other areas which focus on the tools and approaches that can be used to exchange knowledge and share the research or discover it. We're also going to look at ways in which educational approaches could be improved to not only increase the learning outcomes, but also, as I say, to help shape those critical thinkers and reflective practitioners. And many of our speakers will be speaking to this theme today. So let's commence with our presentations. Our first speaker is Sophie Marsden. She's the Program Manager and E-Learning Officer on a number of projects, one of which I believe is Arcade. But I'll hand over to you now, Sophie, so that you can begin your presentation.
So thanks for joining me today for this short presentation. As Siobhan said, my name's Sophie Marsden and I work mainly on communications and e-learning at the Institute of Development Studies. Today I wanted to talk to you about how we can use digital technology to increase research capacity. I currently manage a project called Arcade, which aims to do just this in the field of health research. So I will be offering some examples of what we do in this project, and I will talk about some of the learning that has emerged from the project. Okay, so I wanted to start with this image first. What does it say to you? It's taken from a video of a TEDx talk in Sydney a few years ago. It was used by a group presenting the world's first ever real-world trending engine called Mime is Thai. This technology takes snippets of conversations spoken by the live audience from the theatre using dozens of directional mics. It then generated an interactive visualization of the conversations that were happening in the theatre. It is basically bringing information to life through digital technology. If you'd like to hear more about this, there is a link in the corner of the slide which will take you to the presentation itself. Both the image and the product say a number of things. It captures the evolution of technology. It suggests how we use and engage with this technology, and perhaps most importantly, it indicates that the way we engage with information through these technologies is changing. How can we apply this to the research? How do we use digital technology to access, develop and utilise research today? Of course, all the traditional sources and ways of accessing knowledge are still widely used. We still rely on books, journals and articles in print. We still visit libraries and universities to access this knowledge. But now, if you have a mobile device and an internet connection, you can access many of the same resources and many more online through one device, easily and at speed. New technologies have also put paid to the idea of desk-based research. No longer are you confined to finding information in a library or at a desk through a computer or from a book. Instead, you can access information anywhere and at any time, again, as long as you have a mobile device and an internet connection. You're also no longer confined to library opening hours. If you're a student, you're not confined to time in class. Instead, you can access a wealth of information at a time that suits you. Digital technology and the internet have also dramatically increased the number of people that have access to information and research. The amount of people that own a mobile device, whether that be a mobile phone, a laptop or a tablet, has and is continuing to increase. When combined with an increased internet coverage, this means more information is available to more people. When you combine these qualities that digital technologies have, how can we utilise them for increasing research capacity? Well, let me show you what we have done in the arcade. So just a little bit about the project first. There are actually two arcade projects, both are regional capacity building programmes and each with a health research focus. Arcade HSSR was based in Africa and the focus of the work was based on health systems, whilst Arcade RSDH is based in Asia and the research focuses on social determinants of health. Both were 4-year projects which were funded by the EU 7th Framework Programme. Arcade HSSR came to an end in March this year and Arcade RSDH will end at the end of this month. The projects included 16 partners in total across Asia, Africa and Europe, with Karolinska Institute in Sweden coordinating both projects. The main aim of the project was to use educational technologies to develop health research capacity across Asia and Africa. The main focus centred on teaching and training young researchers, and with this in mind we developed a suite of online learning courses, blended learning modules and joint teaching programmes for use primarily in the two regions. There was also a focus on institutional capacity development to support these teaching and learning initiatives. So this centred on strengthening the education services, the financial and administrative management, the research uptake capacity and how people built into networks. I'm now going to outline some of the products we have and some of them are still in development. Okay, so all of our teaching content is hosted on either an institutional online learning platform or through the central open course repository. This is an online learning platform developed using Moodle software and hosted and managed centrally at the Karolinska Institute. All of the content that we offer is offered open access and has been released under a Creative Commons license. So this means it's free for anyone to use as long as they give appropriate credit to the original author and that they do not profit from using the content. The learning modules have been designed for both students and teachers with the idea that they can be used either for self-study or can be taught as part of a blended approach which combines face-to-face teaching within an institute and using the online content from the platform. The topics covered by the online learning modules was developed in line with a needs assessment that we carried out in the first year of both projects. So this identified the gaps in available teaching and research around the two broad areas of health systems and the social determinants of health, and from that we developed a curriculum of courses. Okay, so just very briefly what's included in a learning module. Well, we've got video lectures, course overviews, presentation slides, reading lists, as well as online assessments and exercises, and links to additional relevant online content. One of the major successes of the Arcade project was the joint teaching programmes that were established between regional partners. For example, Makerere University in Uganda, Stellenbosch University in South Africa and Karolinska Institute in Sweden established a joint PhD programme, so students were able to benefit from the research specialisms in both the faculty and teaching programmes at each of the universities and receive a joint degree. We also developed shared teaching of blended courses across the institutes. The online content and the OCR was crucial in enabling this blended learning approach, and whilst there were some teething issues, there was also a high level of engagement and positive feedback from the students. Arcade was something of a test project in terms of using digital technology to create engaging e-learning content on health research. But alongside online modules, IDS has experimented with using e-publishing software to create an online resource on implementation research on health systems. This has been edited and mainly authored by Dr. Henry Lucas, but it also includes contributions from experts in the field. It's made up of 10 chapters which guides a student through the basics of implementation research. So there are a number of qualities that the e-publishing software has that print publishing does not, which were behind our decisions to choose this format. Firstly, the software enables us to easily update the content, and we are also looking into creating a way that readers could contribute to the content. So this would be effectively like a wiki. Secondly, we are able to add multimedia such as video, audio, interactive figures and graphs and tables and online links to bring the content to life and add greater depth to the resource. Finally, the resource is downloadable by chapter and as a whole document. It's downloadable either as a PDF which is obviously a smaller file size, allowing for those with low bandwidth to download the resource, especially if you're just choosing one chapter. Or it's also available in an EPUB 2 and EPUB 3 file format, which is a larger file size, but it means that you have much more variety in terms of the multimedia content that you can include. Okay, so another e-learning product that we are developing that aims to build professional skills really, instead of the more topic-based academic online courses. So there are a series of how-to instructional videos. So these professional skills building sessions focus on things like communications, policy, research methodology. They're topics that can be sometimes neglected in the capacity building activities within the field of research. We felt it was valuable to kind of add these short instructional videos to the kind of arcade curriculum, if you like. We're still in the process of finalising these products, but we hope to produce guides on Twitter, writing policy brief and blogs shortly. Now I've talked you through a few of the products that we have created. I'd like to share some learning that we have generated from both of the arcade projects. So if we take a look at some of the good points, what did digital technology offer to us? Digital technology and internet connectivity can and does increase access to a wider range of information and knowledge to more people. Within e-learning, for example, people in one country can access teaching content in another country, therefore having the potential to increase the amount of high-quality teaching available to a wider range of people. Within Arcade, we were able to teach across institutes, share expertise, and also share teaching resources. Digital technology also allows you to create new forms of engaging and interactive content. Many students responded positively to using online content in the teaching programs, and different formats can suit different students as they learn and engage with content differently. Instructional videos are now hugely popular online content now. You only have to look at the success of YouTube, for example. Producing this type of content for a research capacity building purpose is a new and innovative way to engage with the next generation of young researchers. Digital technology allows you to connect through time and space boundaries, meaning that as long as you have an internet connection, you can engage with others and access online content at the click of a button. However, I would in no way suggest that technology will magically solve all of the research capacity building needs that exist. In fact, digital technology presents its own new set of challenges. The number of mobile phones surpassed the number of people on the planet in 2014. Gadgets like tablets, smartphones and not so smartphones are multiplying 5 times faster than we are, yet there still exists a digital divide. This is the gap between those that have access to information and communications technology and those that don't, or those that have a restricted access. Bandwidth and connectivity issues are part of this digital divide. They are a common problem faced by research institutes and researchers in low and middle income countries. This was highlighted by some of the partners in Arcade, and these institutes had to invest both time and resources into developing their IT capacity and capabilities within their institute. Quality of e-learning content is increasing alongside the development of new technologies, as are the skills of those developing the content. However, just because teaching is made available online, this doesn't give any guarantees about the quality, the content, or the level of engagement that the materials generate. MOOCs, for example, have a particularly high dropout rate. So, overall, e-learning initiatives and approaches are still in their infancy. Their value needs to be tested and retested against traditional face-to-face teaching approaches. And the same goes for using digital technologies for research capacity building exercises. It is clear that e-learning cannot and should not replace traditional face-to-face teaching, but there is added value to using online content. We concluded, for example, that a blended learning approach was most effective, which combines face-to-face teaching with online content. Okay, that's it from me. All that's left to say is a big thank you for watching, and if you're interested in any of the products or ideas I've talked about, please get in touch.
Thank you very much, Sophie, for a really informative presentation. This is the first time I've seen your outputs from the Arcade programme, and I must say they're very exciting.